Hey guys, welcome back. It's Melon and Me podcast. Your girl Mia and
Whitney. I know they don't even know who we are. Let us reintroduce ourselves. We are the hosts of Melon and Me. We pop in, pop out. Now we're in, and we missed you guys.
we missed y'all. We missed y'all a lot. A lot has been happening per usual. I feel like every time we come on here, we're like, oh my gosh, we got to catch up. There's so much been happening. No, but in real time, there has been a lot that has been happening, and I'm excited to talk about it, get into the details, like what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on? But it does feel good to be back. It feels good to be back.
It feels weird.
I know our microphones and lighting and all gadgets. We're like, how does this even work?
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out.
Trying to knock the dust off.
Yeah, we are here. I forgot our cat. What are our segments of the show? Goodness gracious. What we got popping?
California Love.
Oh, California Love. We're gonna have to switch that up soon. But
right.
California's been, I think we're opening back up a little bit, kind of.
Turn up.
Sorta. I don't know. Some spots are open.
Because you guys have been like, I know when I came, and it was a while ago, but it was like, okay, the restaurants were open, but you had to eat outside. So are people...
That's the thing. Most of the restaurants, people are still eating outside, but then some of my friends say they've been inside, and some of them even said they went out to like a little club or bar or something. But I think it just depends on each location. And no, but most people are still like social distancing, not trying to have any real type of functions. And it's like chilly out here.
Have you been vaccinated? Even though I probably know the answer to this.
No, I have not been vaccinated. Unfortunately, it's a lot of weird, strange shit that's happened in my family. God rest my aunt's soul, but fortunately, she died 6 days after her second vaccination. My grandmother went into the hospital 5 days after her vaccination. So I'm just not really trusting the vaccines right now. I never did trust them. But especially what has happened in my own family, I don't trust them, and I won't be taking it. Yeah.
It was I'm sorry, it's not funny. It was so I won't be taking it.
Yeah.
For me. It's just it's like, and close, period. All right. So I have been vaccinated. I did take Pfizer. All of my family has been vaccinated, except for my son, who will be 13 in October. So my husband was vaccinated, my sister, my brother-in-law, my mom, their side of the family, their other side of the family, my dad, everybody's been vaccinated. We have not, knock on wood, fortunately, had any issues since being vaccinated. I was a little bit tired after the second dose. I was very tired.
Yeah, that's when both my grandmother and my aunt got sick. My aunt got flu-like symptoms like 2 days after taking the second shot, went to the hospital, stayed in the hospital, never came out. My grandmother, flu-like symptoms a few days after taking the second shot, went to the hospital. My best friend's mom, a few days after the second shot, went to the hospital, had to get 2 blood transfusions. I do just think it depends on your body, your own history, what you have going on. No one knows really how you're going to react to it. So
yeah, and I think that's the scary thing. I mean, like with any shot or vaccine, I think, regardless of whatever it is, everybody's bodies are different. And being that this vaccine is still, I would say, definitely newer, it's just, everybody's spectrum of how they've experienced it is different. Now, I do have a best friend that did experience the flu-like symptoms. It was after her second shot, and she was just very tired. She was sweating. She had a fever. She literally was, I think she said she even threw up maybe, but after she took some like pain medicine, she said she was fine. It was almost like it just came and then it left. But I
good
have,
for her.
yeah,
God bless her.
I have heard about the flu-like symptoms, and I also have heard of people that, you know, had a very rough time with the vaccine. So I've been vaccinated, you know, who's to say? I know that they're coming out. They just approved it to where 12-year-olds and up can get it. I have not made that decision to get my son vaccinated just yet. I'm still waiting on whatever I need. And I don't know what that is before I make that determination if he gets vaccinated or not. Just because, you know, I don't know. I just don't know. But anyways.
Right. Well, just hold on real quick. I'm glad you mentioned it, but I do want to like normalize people not asking people about their medical history again. Like it confuses me how perfect strangers are like, hey, did you get vaccinated? I got my vaccine today. Like, it's like, okay, wear a sticker or something. I don't know why I'm just trying to understand why we are ignoring people's medical history and HIPAA and, you know, their own privacy when it comes to what they do with their bodies. So it's awkward to me how strangers are so comfortable asking other strangers, hey, did you get vaccinated? Have you gotten your second shot? Like, to me, that's no one's business. Like, it's a privacy thing in your medical history. And if it was any other situation with any other illness, STD, whatever the fucking case may be, no one's gonna ask people, hey, did you get that dose of moxicillin? You know what I'm saying? No one's gonna ask that. So I just want to normalize not asking strangers and shit for their medical history. I just don't know what's happening with the world. But
when you put it like that, that does make sense. I mean, I never thought about it that way. I have yet not asked a complete stranger, have they gotten vaccinated?
I've been asked like 10 times, like
and
by
I have not
Uber drivers and everything. I'm like, do I know you?
Yeah, I have not asked a stranger, and a stranger as of yet has not asked me if I've been vaccinated. But you know, I can definitely see how that's weird because
it's very awkward. Like my timeline.
I think because COVID, I think it's something to do with COVID being like one of those things where we've just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it's just so
it's turned us into the fucking Twilight Zone where we're walking around here with cards like, hey, y'all, I posted on Instagram, I got my vaccination. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, because
why?
Well,
here's the question.
Well, literally, they are, in my opinion, they are making it that way anyways, in terms of saying, you know, those who have been vaccinated don't have to wear masks. And so it's kind of like
recently, just very recently, because before they said you still had to wear your mask and you could still get COVID after being vaccinated. So this is like in the last week, I think Biden made that freaking announcement where it's like,
but we want that to me is still separation, or it's like a visible, like,
oh, it's gonna be very visible.
You know, it's gonna be vaccinated, wearing your mask. That because you have both sides. Because I'm vaccinated, I still pretty much in close spaces will probably decide to wear my mask, and I'm vaccinated.
So yeah, my grandmother still wears her mask. She was like, she don't care.
That doesn't mean that just because I wear my mask doesn't mean I'm not vaccinated. But then you will have people that do wear their masks that aren't. But on the other side, you're going to have people who haven't been vaccinated and still don't wear their masks. So it's like,
it means nothing until they give us that chip or they give us that thing on our ID, which is probably coming real soon. And it's going to be like vaccinated, unvaccinated. And it's going to be the vaccinated and the others. Hello, I'm the other, and I'm gonna be in a fucking basement somewhere recording melanin me with you. And I mean, it is what it is. You know,
if they say you can't, I'm throwing this out there. If they say you cannot travel unless you're vaccinated, how do you feel about that? Like, are you going to get vaccinated, or are you going to just try to find like loopholes to kind of get around that? What are your thoughts?
I'm okay with not traveling or whatever. So like the only thing,
like to anywhere, like if they're like, listen, you have got to be vaccinated.
I'll just be in my car. You know, I can drive in my car. If that comes to it, then, you know, it is what it is. If I got to lose, I mean, I work remotely. It's not like I have to be in an office with people. So that shouldn't be a problem. But if it comes to that, I'd lose my job too, because I'm not doing it. It's not, and maybe I will eventually, but right now I don't feel comfortable at all, especially what happened in my family. I don't feel comfortable. So yeah, I'm willing to let go of anything. It don't matter to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know you, so I'm not surprised by that. I just was wanting to hear you, vocalize that in terms of like your end of the spectrum. Some people are like, well, if it ever came down to that, then I would,
Yeah. And if I did, I wouldn't go around fucking putting it on a fucking billboard. Like, I just don't understand what the hype is. Like, everyone's just so hype about this vaccine, and I'm just like,
but to me, I don't get it. But you have to understand, people have also been very hype about COVID from the beginning. It's a media conference. Hey guys, I have tested positive for COVID. And we remember when we had talked about that, we were like, why are people coming out saying that they've tested positive,
disclosing their medical history? And you see how warped we are now. So 12 months later, now you're at the place where you're like, hey, did you get the vaccine? You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's where our mind is now. We don't even think about people's privacy medically anymore, because it's been on blast for over a year.
Right.
And I mean, my thing is, it's interesting how Biden has this huge press conference about, the vaccine and mask wearing, yet we're barely hearing anything about the fucking hack. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should all be fucking press conferencing about this fucking hack that has everyone on the East Coast gas prices crazy.
The dirty
hoarding
South.
gas.
Oh, the dirty South. Okay.
Yes. And it's like, it's just gas for one, but the bigger issue is we're being cyber attacked now. Like, that is how we're being attacked in America now, by cyber attacks. And it's just funny to me how this isn't the big story. It's still COVID and vaccine and mask, but no one gives a fuck that we're being hacked and everything we have is digital. Like, if gas pipelines can be hacked, our fucking bank accounts can be hacked. So it's just the way media spins things and makes something so huge, but in reality, on the back burner, we got something way more important happening. It's hilarious to me.
Well, it's so funny because it took me days after to learn that there was even a gas shortage.
Girl, me too, because the media was barely covering it.
And so when it was, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, let me go get gas, because I think it only impacted Atlanta XYZ. So let me just go ahead and get gas in case it hits here. Unbeknownst to me, it's hit here already.
Girl, it was a panic.
I'm driving here. I'm like, how long has this been going on? Because I haven't seen and again, I follow a lot of different media outlets. Don't judge me, but I do follow the Shade Room. I follow like DMZ.
And Shade Room ain't post shit about it.
I follow CNN. I mean, I do follow people, but I mean, in the way the algorithms are set up too, like, nothing about no gas was top of my thing. You know what I'm saying?
They don't want us to know. They don't want us to know about it. They don't want us to freak out about it, which we still did, because people was hoarding gas and they didn't need it. You know what I'm saying? We always do this in America.
Tissue, like they did paper towels, like they did Kleenex. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
Always
ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
But they could never let us know what's really going on in terms of being hacked and all this shit, because do you imagine if people acting like this with gas, do you imagine the mass panic people would have in regards to their money, their assets? People would move all their shit out immediately. Like, it would be a chaos.
Banks would collapse
it would be chaotic. So they have to do the way they're doing.
Unfortunately for those, let me just throw this disclaimer out there. For those that don't know, I am a real estate realtor in Nashville.
Woo-hoo! The best of the best.
I've crossed over into the real estate side of things, so it's really exciting. I'm, whole new world. Love it.
Shout out Mia Parker Properties on Instagram.
Mia Parker Properties. Follow me, www.miaparkerproperties.com. Shameless plug. But no, so for those of you who don't know, and I've also been, an investor in stocks and things like that over the last couple of years. but banks are not your friend. Imagine having, let's just, for easy math, let's just say we have $150,000 in a bank account. Well, the FDIC only insures up to $25,000 of your money that sits in your bank account. So if something were to happen to that money in your account and it's like poof, be gone, they'll give you $25,000 of said money, of whatever other money that you had tied to that. So they don't, a lot of people know that, but then there's a ton of people who don't know that. Credit cards, they are your friend, because guess what? That's other people's money. If you lose your credit card, guess what? You can call, American Express, you can call Capital One or whoever, Chase Bank, whatever, and say, hey, I lost my card, and they'll do all the work because that's their money. So they're going to be like, okay, cool, whatever. Here's a new card. Here's your money. We'll do all the due diligence, whatever.
Right.
But if you lose your debit card, they put you through the ringer to verify if those funds were actually taken. Was it truly illegitimate? Was it like that's actually your cash, your hardcore cash, your money. So, and I'm saying all of this to say your money honestly does nothing for you when it's just sitting in the account. Right? So your bank account, let me clarify. Your money doesn't work for you when it just sits in your bank account. It may accrue a certain percentage of interest, but it's such a small percentage that you honestly don't even see it. I'd much rather you put your money and invest it into an IRA, a 401k, real estate, stock, something where, if something were to happen, you could easily liquidate that money. And they definitely insure, one of my stock brokerages, they insure up to $250,000. So, it's something, and I'm saying this because it's something to be said about these banks that specifically were created to, separate the haves and the have-nots. And it still is the case, because there's a lot of people who try to get home loans or loans in general for small businesses of color, and they cannot do that through certain banks. Hence why there was at one point this whole surge on, support Black banks, right? We were all on that protest and things like that agenda, which is something that we should always be on. So that way we can fund our own stuff, but that's a whole nother conversation. But my whole point, and I think how we even got on this was, if somebody hacks, if there is some sort of cyber something and it happens to be your bank account, for a lot of us, that's our money. And we trust the banks because we're like, oh, that's my bank account. I've been saving for all these years. I've trust the bank, like blah, 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 blah. We're going to be shit out of luck. We got to take it back to the days where our grandparents had that can of money or that bucket and they had all that tons of cash. And people were like, Grandma, why you got all this cash? Like, Granddaddy, why you got all this cash sitting? Because people didn't trust banks back in the day. You know what I mean? Cash is king. Cash is king. And the more that you have access to it and outside of the bank, and I'm not saying this is a solution for everything. I'm just trying to throw out some tips and pointers. Should something happen, cyber related, like Whitney, to your point, everything's electronic. And that's for a reason too. It gives everybody else above us,
Bro, we don't have power. We don't have power of shit. If we woke up tomorrow and we gave the police officer our driver's license and they like, you are not you, this is not you. And you're like, yes, it is. Look at my social. It's like, no, this ain't your social. Like all that shit could be changed. Like we don't have everything's electronic. Everything's on the computer. Like,
well, and also I want to say that I have my phone in front of me and it's like, this is the most common thing is that and I think a lot of us know this now, even though we used to joke about it, like, oh, haha, we're all being tapped. We're all being listened to. No, we are being listened to. Like there is no laughing matter. Like I literally can be talking about, I don't even have to talk about a rubber band. I could just be in my mind thinking, oh, I need a rubber band. Like I haven't told anybody. I haven't said anything to anybody. I haven't typed it in my
Bro,
phone.
they done tapped into our shit. They done tapped into our
my
psyche.
brain. And I'm like, why is there a rubber band ad? I have not told anybody about rubber bands.
I know. Me and my mom already know. They're like mind reading us at this point. And it's sick because now they're so funny. Because now if you notice, if you open certain apps, it will ask you, do you mind if we could record the data and send it to Google for your ads? And I'm like, bitch, you've been recording my data. Don't try to ask me now.
Permission. This is sweet. This is kind. I guess this is a nice gesture you guys have built in. But no,
I can't.
So, you know, it is what it is. More to come on this whole soapbox. But yeah, there's a lot to be said about this conversation.
Girl,
it just goes into
Earth is so ghetto. Earth is so ghetto. Oh Lord. So let's get to the main event.
Can I, before we get into that, can we talk about Tank for a second?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So Tank, the R&B singer Tank, aka Durrell Babs. Most of you all know him from Please Don't Go and Maybe I Deserve. He is a producer of so many hits, from Aaliyah to Jamie Foxx to, I mean, you name it. He's written a lot of songs, not only for himself, not only a lot of hits for himself, but a lot of other artists. And this particular story really hits home for me, and I am very sensitive about it, simply because I think it's in the way in which he's been handling it is really, really impactful is the right word that I want to use. He came out a couple days ago and said that he is going deaf in his, I believe, left ear, completely deaf. And he is now losing hearing in his right ear. And they've done a lot of work. They've done like MRIs, workups, all the things you could probably think of. And he's been giving like a day-to-day update as things move along, and things just continue to get worse. And so, you know, I just want to say, let's keep him and his in all of our prayers, or whoever, you know, you believe in, just good spirits. If you are a part of the R&B gang, or even if you're not, but specifically that early, that 90s, early 2000 era, even now, you know, when we Dirty, you know, I can go on and on and on. I've been a Tank fan literally since his Force of Nature album. And it's just really sad. You know, it's really sad. He's so positive about it. He's like, you know what, forget all of it. He's like, you know, I realize that there's so many other people out here that are dealing with things that are beyond losing their hearing. And I just want to provide some sort of guidance and light and sing while I'm here. He's always dizzy. He says always dizzy. You know, so they're treating it, from what I know, as like a severe case of vertigo. But the sad part about it is they don't have any idea of where it's come from. Like I said, they've done all the workups, all the things, and everything's checked out fine. And this happened just as of like 2 weeks ago. So just out of nowhere. Now, one thing I am interested in is if he has been vaccinated. You know, just because I just want to, I mean, you know, I just want to know, like, if that maybe had something, I don't know. But you know, he hasn't said anything about that. So just keep him lifted in your prayers. But it's really sad. I mean, I'm thinking from a singer perspective, like, gosh, that's got to be one of the worst things you could lose, is not only your, I guess, your voice, but then also the next probably best thing would be your hearing. And yeah, so just thought I'd throw that out there. He's in my prayers.
Yeah, that's really sad. I would hate to lose. Like, I've always said, if I had, I mean, God forbid, but if I had to choose between the two, I'd rather be blind than deaf, because I just love music. I love to sing. I love listening to music, and I could do that all day, all night. You know what I'm saying? And if I couldn't, I I'd go crazy. I just feel really bad for him. He's a musician. He has to hear, you know what I'm saying? So God bless him. I hope it has nothing to do with that fucking vaccine. Like, don't give me any more ammo, Lord. So I pray that ain't the reason. And I hope that he gets some like second opinions, like even if it like goes out of the country, look into stem cell research. I mean, he has a little bit of money, so you can, the sky's the limit. You need to go to Canada, you need to like Dr. Sebi's people, like just do everything, everything.
Right. I agree. And a lot of times these doctors just don't know. You know, you've got some doctors that they're just not, it's not uncommon for you to do your own research and be like, hey, doctor, this is what I researched. This is some things that I think that I have. And then they actually take it back to their people. They're like, oh, you know what? This is what you have, you know? So
exactly. And they don't believe in homeopathic remedies and shit. So like natural cures, your diet, exercise, like not to say he's not eating right or whatever, but it's just in this time when your health is, you know, in the air, it's like try everything under the sun. I know I would be like, when I don't feel good, I don't just rely on medicine. I'd be like Googling like what's the most natural things I can take, everything. And I feel like that always helps when you bring it back to like what's in nature, what did our ancestors use, because that works better than the medicine half the time. So
that's true.
Hopefully somebody somewhere can help him. Hope he feels better soon.
Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say about that. But anyway,
yeah, oh, that's so sad.
It's sad. Yeah, he's such a great singer. just acapella.
Yeah, I saw him one day at the buffet, the Hilton buffet in Burbank, California, with his family.
About that too. I think you told me about that. They were eating crab legs.
Yes, it was the crab leg buffet, girl. I got good memory.
About Tank, I do. Listen, I gotta protect the Avants, the Donnell Jones, the Joes, the Jodeci's, the H. Like I gotta protect all of that era, honey, because that's what be playing in my car. So listen, them brothers could sing, okay? So that feel good music. But anyway, but what's really going on? I know. Let's just talk about the Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah, this is why we really hear y'all, because this got us back talking and gossiping, and we like, okay, we got to get back on.
Now I'm gonna let you set up the story, but I do want to say as a disclaimer, this season has been straight up trash.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
We started out talking about the season when we were recording these, and we
always talk about Atlanta Housewives,
and it's gotten it's just declined. Anytime you had to move from the network to YouTube, full episodes of YouTube, like the night of, clearly we know some things are bad. But anyways, this is definitely this story that we're about to break, and that you all, I'm sure, have seen over and over again played out.
Yeah, we ain't breaking nothing. The story been broke.
That's what I said. I'm sure you've seen it and heard about it already. But what I'm saying is that it sure is a good storyline to pick up some energy, at least for a little couple episodes. I ain't gonna say it's gonna carry all the way through, but for a couple of episodes, So what?
I mean, this is why I feel like I don't know for sure if this is real. I mean, I want to say it's real because I'm like, who would do all of this if it's not real? But I don't put nothing past nobody in Hollywood or Black Hollywood. Okay, but allegedly, no, not allegedly.
Like, girl, no, not allegedly.
Well, this is how it started out, right? So it did start out as allegedly because Porsha released a picture. This is coincidentally, is right after the last episode of the Atlanta Housewives reunion of the last season. She releases a picture where she looks to be like in the backyard of Dennis's house or her house. I don't know. And she was between Dennis and this other man that looked like Dennis to me. I didn't know who was who, to be honest. Shit. When I saw the picture, I just was like, oh, okay, I guess she's back with Dennis. I didn't even look at it twice, like, honestly. And then I went back because in the blogs, they were saying that she was actually had her hand on an older African man who allegedly was Fallon's husband. Fallon was a friend of the Housewives show this season, a friend of Porsha, to be precise. Porsha introduced Fallon on the last season of Housewives as one of her friends that she mutually knew through Dennis, and Dennis knew her husband.
Right.
And that's how they all became acquainted. All right. Now, fast forward about 8-9 months, the show has wrapped, and we learn that Porsha is now engaged to Fallon's ex-husband, or a estranged husband. I don't know, because apparently their divorce isn't final, but then Porsha said it was final. So we don't know what's really going on there. But Porsha has admitted that she's in love. They've been dating for a month and they are engaged. And the rumors are also circulating that she could be pregnant. I don't know what's true there. I don't know. But yeah, she's getting drugged in these streets for stealing that woman husband, is what they're saying. That's just what the streets are saying. I don't know if that's how it played out. You know,
and might I add that in Porsha's confessional, when she's out in all of this, you know, she mentions that Dennis and all parties involved have agreed to co-parent, you know, seamlessly, easily. Everybody's on board. I just find this story to be very interesting and on all sides. Like, I have really enjoyed Porsha for several seasons, and I feel like how she came into the show and how she is now are two completely different Porshas. I don't even know if you were to show me that Porsha was going to be this way. I literally don't even remember her being Porsha, how she was introduced originally. It's night and literally day, and I really don't attribute any of it to necessarily growth, because I'm not saying that she's grown or she hasn't grown. I'm just saying she's a completely different Porsha than what we knew her to be when she was introduced to the show. So right now, with this information, I don't know who the hell Porsha is. I mean, you know, this is some low gutter trailer park trash-ish, and I don't buy. This is what I don't buy. I don't.
Now, she said they weren't friends. Put that out there. She said she wasn't friends with the girl.
It's always, but we weren't really that cool when
she was up in that lady's house smoking her hookah. She got introduced to her husband on the show. Now, that's just cringeworthy, because you know Shade Room had to pull the receipts, and they brought up the moment where Porsha was introduced to that lady's husband, and she was like, "Oh, hi, oh, hey," all giggly goo goo gaga. And now we know that she was eyeing that crib, she was eyeing that pool, she was eyeing that man's $40 million.
Exactly. And I just think that you have to be a certain type of individual to want to insert yourself into something like that and be okay with the media. Like, it's one thing for us to like view you as something, but this is just low down. And unfortunately, like I was saying earlier, I don't buy the fact of, oh, we're not friends. Like, we're not, because she had, it's just too much. It was too much friendly-ish vibes coming from that relationship anyway. I feel like they might not have been the best of friends, no, but they were budding a friendship. They were hanging out. There was a couple pictures of them at outings, one on the knee.
You saw the meme I posted that got some traction.
The knee, Porsha, Fallon went on to do an interview with Candy on Speak On It. And this was just like last month, or the end of March, early April. And
she said her man was working.
And she said that Porsha, when Candy asked how she was introduced to the show, she said, well, my friend Porsha, and how that happened was Dennis and my husband. They, and again, it says a lot to me about Dennis for him to be like, okay, cool, yeah, smash my, whatever. If they supposedly had some sort of kind of relationship, like, it's just weird. It makes me feel like this is fabricated.
Yeah, I'm like, is it fabricated?
I feel like it's actually happening. No, I don't feel like it's fabricated in a way that it's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're going to sit down. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. I think that there is either a hidden agenda and she is pregnant and it's just going to play out how it is.
Right.
Or I think that there was a moment where they both connected and Porsha saw opportunity where it was like, this is a good opportunity. And it's not something that I feel like she's probably not into him, because a lot of women these days are just naturally into men with money. And that's just been the test of time. You can be a little bit heavier and, have money, and you can be a little bit uglier and have money. And these bitches will still flock to you. And
she
say,
with that man for money.
I'm in love, and say, I'm so in love.
Man for money.
So yeah. So
and Dennis has to be getting in some way. I don't know if Dennis and this man got some sort of business arrangement or
they're pimping out Porsha.
They got something going on, because the way Dennis was cheesing, it's like his pockets are getting full too off of this.
Oh, hell yeah, we're good. And if she's having having a baby with him, even better for Porsha, because that'll guarantee her some coins. And if she was really in this for money, then there she goes. She really doesn't even
Porsha.
She don't even need to carry this all the way out, to be honest with you. But
what I do say is this really does show, and I knew this from the beginning, that Porsha was fucking bullshitting about the whole Phaedra and Candy situation. Porsha was in cahoots with Phaedra with that whole thing. She is just as sneaky as Phaedra. And what Porsha does to cover up her sneaky ways is that likability, that funniness, that, oh my God, I'm so dumb, but she's really not. And I like Porsha because she is funny. She's lighthearted, all of that. But a part of me feels like that really is a front or an act, because if you can do this, then you really not all giggly. Oh, I'm a girl's girl. And hey girl, like that's not really you. Absolutely. And Porsha, I feel like at your
own expense. Like you don't care how you look. You don't care how you look.
It's like money can buy her. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, I hope this isn't the case, but I feel like she definitely played herself with this one, because I don't see this relationship lasting with this man. I don't want to be rude about it, but any man that can do that to his wife, who he just was online calling her his soulmate like 5 months ago, he gonna do the same thing to you. You know what I'm saying? Eventually. And I feel like Porsha played herself, because she really is bad as fuck. Like, she could have gotten anyone. Like, you didn't have to do this. Like, I understand you live in Atlanta and all of y'all fuck each other's men or whatever, but it's just like, you really could have probably gotten some billionaire in Greece or some shit. Like, I'm just saying, you should have expanded your horizons. Like, you're known, you can get in these doors. If you was trying to book a rich man, I don't think you had to book Fallon's ex-husband. Like, I feel like she could have gotten anybody. Am I tripping? I just feel like, why are you resulting to this? Like, you didn't have to do this. Like, you could have gotten with the NBA player, you could have gotten with whoever. I just don't understand why she's doing this. It makes no sense to me.
Well,
I don't know.
I think that when certain women do these types of things, it shows that we feel like they could get anybody. But
yeah, I'm like,
their reality behind closed doors is, oh shit, my time is ticking. I'm not saying this is the case, but what I'm saying is, like, think about it. Kenya is a beautiful woman. What we do know is that she does not act like Kenya to her men. She acts like Ken to her men, meaning like who Kenya is to us, who we see, that's not how she is in her relationship. She's obviously very submissive. She wants to be like loved. She just wants to be. So it's something there with I'm saying there's something there with some women where we're like, gosh, you could literally get anybody. Why are you doing this?
Well, I don't feel that way with Kenya. I feel that way with Porsha because she's very likable. She's very sweet. She has a great personality on the surface. Like, Kenya rubs a lot of people the wrong way very quickly. Porsha's not like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she can get through doors. She can get in. I don't know. I just feel like maybe I'm tripping. Maybe she has some type of industry reputation or something that I don't know about. But I don't know. She's on Dish Nation. She's on Housewives. I just feel like what's the difference between her and say like Eve, who just booked a millionaire. Like, I don't know. I just feel like she could.
I just think she saw the opportunity and she didn't want to work hard for it and she took it. I just think that that's as simple as it is. I don't think.
Do you think she's in love with that man?
No.
Right. That's obvious, right? Because she's like, oh, we fell in love in a month. It's like, girl, stop.
And two, you have a whole daughter. Like, I'm sorry, but people with kids, I'm very opinionated in terms of not necessarily how you care for your kid. Like, that's your business. But I'm very opinionated when it comes to just bringing any type of female or male around your kids and saying that you're in love with somebody within 4 weeks. Like,
that's ridiculous. And now you're like, oh, we're co-parenting. What? That's your kid.
Me being in HR for all of the years that I've been in HR, we have probationary periods for a reason, 90 days at the least. So you mean to tell me, and we know a dog can act straight for 90 days. So you telling me that in 4 weeks, you ain't really even seen how this man lives. You don't know how he is in the morning to the night on a consistent, consecutive basis. You don't know how he, there's so much to learn. And for you to say that you both are madly in love and at the point of co-parenting, coming to an agreement first of all, he already has 6 kids, 6, 7, 8 kids with all these other different women on his own.
And he just sat up there and was stepdaddy to Fallon's 3 kids. For however many years.
They had a huge family. So, I don't buy it. I'm hoping that if it is for love and if this is real, we will see it. I mean, we'll see it by the test of time, because time only will tell. And if it's not, and us as the viewers are right about our predictions, I hope your new reputation is worth it, because nobody's going to want to leave their men around you or even introduce you to a man.
I don't think that she cares anything about friends or anything like that. I mean, I just hope the 40 million is worth it. I don't even feel like that's that much money. Like, aren't you making millions?
Hopefully she benefits in a way. You know what? It's just like, I can't even say that out of my mouth without because I feel like when certain things happen, you have to put your morals and your ethics to the side to get certain things. And I do feel like marriage is a thing. Like, we've talked about this a lot throughout our show, in terms of how relationships are and how men are. And my thing is, how you get somebody is usually how you lose them. And even if you don't lose him, even if you guys, let's say, get married and you guys stay married, please understand he is going to show you some things and reveal some things to you that, you might be like, damn, I shouldn't have done this. Just because somebody stays in a marriage doesn't mean, oh my God, this person is in love with me. We have the best marriage. We're doing this. No, people stay married to people for all sorts of reasons outside of love.
Love is the last reason.
Love is the last reason why people stay, quote unquote. And I'm only saying married because people look at marriage as this, ultimate goal in life, as a title, that if I'm a wife or if I'm a husband, I'm a married woman. So I know, I can speak specifically on this. People take those titles and they just use them to their advantage instead of working on how the relationship should be previous to marriage. You should actually be acting as though you're married before you get married. But oftentimes what people do is they deal with all this bullshit. They get married in hopes that people will change. Well, girl, we're married now. Or we're married now. So, girl, he's going to change. He's going to act up. He's going to get his right. I'm the wife now. Bitch, that don't do shit. If anything, that's going to highlight more of who he is when you get married. So
ask Wendy Williams. She know for sure. She know. That nigga was cheating before and after.
During.
It's not funny, but it's funny when you tolerate it and then be like, oh my God, what was me?
Why are you doing this to me?
you because God told you you won't be in woe and you still chose it. So
girl, let that man like we said, let that man cheat in fucking peace at this point, because
basically
he done dogged you for 15, 16 years. And don't be out here talking about, oh, we've been together for all these years, but you've been crying for more than all of them. So it's just, you know, and men with money are worse than people without it. Like, that's the misconception. Like, oh, well, hurt is hurt. Yes, it does hurt. If you're driving away in a Honda or if you're driving away in a Range Rover, yes, hurt is hurt. One may look to be a little bit better because you're like, okay, I at least have a little cushion versus I'm hurt and I'm broke. But regardless, you gonna put up with somebody, you gonna put up with some shit with a man that got a little something. Because, and it could be power. They may not have a ton of money. They have leadership. They may have power. Think about the pastors. Think about people in politics. Think about people who have a platform. People misuse, if you're not dealing with somebody who has a high level of ethics and morals and character and is a good human being.
Think about Derek Jackson. I'm so mad we didn't come on here for that.
Girl, that's
come on here for that. Oh, I was rolling for a good month off of those memes. I could not.
And again, people were going in on the wife. And I'm like, you know what? We can't even go in on her like that.
In that bonnet. Can't.
At the end of the day, she decided she wants to stay there and be a dummy. You know, she wants to stay there and stick by her man and
hold his hand while he's talking about cheating on her.
He was making these videos in front of his mistress's house. Like, they was like, that's my house in the background. And
you know what? I knew something was up with him.
I did
Derek
too.
Jackson, because
said that.
I always said, because I seen some of his stuff and I was like, I mean, sure, what he's saying is okay, but I don't believe him. There's something about him. I never knew he was married until like a fucking month ago. And why are you always in your car? You know, if you're always in your car, you're trying to hide some shit. It's just is what it is.
I feel like I am a good reader of people, and I feel like a lot of people.
Me too, girl. That's a Pisces trait.
Yeah, and I can't really describe what it was about him that made me be like,
it's something not right.
I just think that anytime you have a platform and you are constantly judging and speaking on other people's experiences, specifically you're a man and you're speaking specifically on other men and how they operate in their households. I just feel like, what do you have to gain? Like, you're gaining all of these women and our buy-in, that's his platform. He built his platform off of preying on all of our, you know, oh my gosh, what should I do about this situation? My man is cheating. Oh my gosh, what do you think about this? What do you think about, you know?
Girl, and what a perfect way to get panties.
And that's what I'm saying.
Just dropping draws, thinking this man is all hell.
And I think too, for me, is like
crazy.
If you go back and you watch his videos, he'll always start off the videos just kind of like with a sexy, like, so, you know,
in that car.
Yeah. You know, what's his name from Jim Jones? What was this? What's
Mike
the name
Jones?
from he played in Paid in Full. He was in Dipset. What was his name?
Jules Santana?
No.
Beanie Siegel?
No. It starts with a C. What was his name?
Oh, Cameron.
Yes, that was Chingy. Girl,
he took me back in 2005.
Girl, he been speaking on Cameron. He been speaking on all these different people, T.I., everybody, all to find out you a dog right along with him. You know, you are a dog. But it was like the sexiness before he started to speak. And I just was like, why do you have to do that? You're married. Why do you have to do that? Like,
girl, I never knew the man was married. I ain't never seen him.
He was married.
I never heard him talk about being married.
When some of my girlfriends would send me his videos, I would be like, well, who made him the fucking, you know, yeah,
right.
What he says is cool.
Who died and made you king, sir?
Well, my thing is always, if you're speaking on relationships and other people's marriages, and
what's your story?
What's your story? And so when my friends would send me stuff, they'd be like, oh, well, he's married. And I'd be like, oh, okay, well, maybe he can have a point of view because he's living the he's actually living the life.
But it's like, where's your wife, honestly? Because don't talk about marriage and shit and you ain't sharing your wife.
You're not sharing your wife.
That doesn't make sense. And she clearly is willing to do whatever the fuck you tell her to do. So you can't say
something ain't right with her though.
She seems out of it. Like
something's off with her.
She's a weirdo. Because I don't know if you saw or read her little messages when she talks about how like she watched, I guess Derek had a sex tape and that's how she found out. Like that's how she found out about him cheating on one of the occasions. This weirdo said she watched the sex tape and tried to imitate the girl in the video so that she could satisfy Derek like the next time they had sex. I said, you know what? There's no hope here. Hope has left the building. Whatever she goes through, this is her karma. We can't help her. This has nothing to do with us.
Girl, the bar in hell is set. Okay.
Girl.
It's getting lower and lower and lower and lower. We are praising people this is a red flag culture. We praise the toxic culture. Don't get me wrong, it's relatable because we've all been through some shit with a toxic person. There's females that are toxic, there's men that are toxic. So a lot of these memes are relatable because shit, we've all dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, at some point when you know better, you really do have to do better. And I think for some of these women, I think that, for instance, I think that men specifically, if they are somewhat insecure, then the type of women that they end up being with are also insecure. But the women that they cheat on their insecure wife or girlfriend with typically are independent, strong-minded women that they know they could never be with because they need somebody to essentially be like a dummy. Like, okay, I'll go along with it. If you get caught, I'm gonna stay. I'm never gonna leave. But the women that they actually, because there's a meme out there that's been circulating for a long time, and it's like the women that your men don't want you acting like are the very same women that they cheat on you with.
Girl, I can't keep up. I don't know. It's
meaning like it could be something as simple as I don't date women with weaves and makeup and all. I like my women to be natural. Yeah, you like somebody who's natural, but you cheat on somebody with wigs and makeup and nails and girl, big booty toes.
Men kill me with that. Boosie, I think Boosie had just posted something like that. Like, y'all need to all be natural. I'm like, when is the last time you posted a natural ass? Like, let me know. Because last time I checked, you was having Fuckery Friday lives and every bitch with a fake ass was on your live. So how are you going to hop on Shade Room and be like, y'all need to start loving yourselves and being natural? Nigga, you need to start loving natural because you don't even love it. So I'm just confused.
You don't even love it. You don't love it. And it's, it's
everyone wants to hop on their soapbox like fucking T.I. when y'all all got y'all own little demons in the damn closet. Like, shut up. I literally don't want to hear from nobody no more. Like, I don't want to hear your opinion. I don't want to hear like you're all high and mighty and you're talking about other people's bullshit. Like, no, you're fucking up.
The one person that I absolutely love is Justin LaBoy. And I've said this for a long time. And I don't love him in terms of like, oh, I love him per se. I just like how he just is so like open and honest about certain shit. Like, he doesn't sugarcoat certain situations. He does it on both sides, from a female perspective and a male perspective. He's not really giving relationship advice as much as he is just throwing out different scenarios. And it's like, I just always judge people who, I don't know if judge is the right word, but I always look at people a certain type of way who constantly are always talking about one particular thing. And for Derek Jackson, he's always trying to downplay other men and how they treat their women. And I'm like, find a new fucking topic. Like, or he's trying to tell women what they need to do to get a good guy. And I'm like, out of all this shit, you aren't a good guy. Like, you just proved to all of us that you have preyed on the backs of all these women who look at you like, oh, you're married and you're living the life and you're giving us information and advice to go out here and find whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't think nobody should like hold him to a standard in terms of like, he's God and he knows everything. But what I'm saying is like, you out here really living 18 double lives, but yet you out here also calling out T.I., you calling out Cameron, you calling out all these other men, and you're doing the same thing. That's all I'm saying. Like, you can still give advice on how to not be a shitty person and how to be a good person in a relationship while doing your own dirt that we don't know about. Because at the end of the day, that's still good advice. But don't sit up here trying to call out other people in their mistakes, like literally other people in their households, when you're doing the same thing. Like, if you're giving general advice, let that be general advice. But don't sit out here and be like, oh, but let me, how Tiny is treating da-da-da-da-da. No, you're doing the same thing. But then when somebody calls you out, oh, I want privacy. Please give us a minute to work through this. It's so hypocritical. It's so hypocritical. And I'm so sick of it. Girl, that's why I'm like, I'd rather listen to a guy who gives the real, guess what? This is what happens when da-da-da-da-da-da. Or that I've experienced that. Like, just be real. Just be real. Does that even exist anymore?
Girl, nobody's fucking real. Everything's fake. Everything and everyone, basically. But it's funny because when you mentioned, you're like, it's funny, it's what you keep calling out with what you're actually doing in the dark. How many times have we heard Porsha talking about, well, you weren't a good friend and you're not a good friend and blah, 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 blah. You are like the ultimate bad friend, like at this point. And this isn't just to Fallon, because even if I was close to Porsha and I found out that she did this to Fallon, I would be looking at Porsha sideways as fuck, like, you're not coming to my house, girl. Like, ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, man or no man, I just don't trust you. You could steal my shit. I don't know. I just don't trust people like that, period.
And a lot of women, I shouldn't say a lot of women, but there are some women who, Porsha hasn't been in a happy relationship and God knows when. Seriously, like, even with Cordell, she wasn't happy in that marriage. I mean, we saw how he talked to her, and after they got divorced, she wanted to come out with how their marriage really was, right? So, with Dennis, they only knew each other like 6 months and then was proposed and then, had a baby. Like, it was a short-lived relationship. So I can't really say she was gutter happy in even 6 months, because to me, that's still part of the dating process. And he's been cheated on her left and right, even when she was pregnant. So ain't no telling when Porsha really had a happy relationship, if she's ever had a happy relationship. And trust and believe, a lot of her friends that she does hang with, they do seem to be in seemingly happy relationships. They've been with their men for over several years, some 10 years. Tanya and Shamia, she's married to that African. She's been married for several years to him. They had a baby. They seem to be in a happy marriage or whatever. So I'm like, no, you're not going to come over here with that energy. Like, because guess what? This relationship don't seem like it's going to be happy neither. So what are you chasing? Are you chasing love? Are you chasing happiness?
Bag.
Or are you chasing the bag?
We all know it's the bag.
Where does your loyalty lie?
With the bag.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't trust her anymore. Like, man or no man, I know that you're about that bread. So it's just like, I don't know, girl.
It's just crazy, like, because you literally have people that look at your relationship, or even if you're not in a relationship, your situation, and they want that happiness that you have. There's people that are single that are genuinely happy. And sometimes when you radiate that, and it's not attached to my job, it's not attached to the car I drive, it's not attached to my money that I make, it's naturally like, I do what the fuck I want to do. I have an opinion. I'm opinionated. I'm independent. I'm a good friend. I'm a good lover. I'm a good daughter. People envy that, because deep down they're not. That's why we have people that naturally can't be around anymore, because your energy doesn't collide with what their agenda is. And time reveals who your friends are anyway. So I just feel like she would not be somebody, to your point, who after this information came out, I would be like, oh, we need to have a talk. I need to figure out what's going on in your head, because right now, as your friend, as I've been to you, bitch, I don't trust you. This ain't cool.
Well, apparently all her friends are just fine with it. Shamia was on her comments on the picture cracking jokes, and then the fans went in on Shamia on Porsha's page from what I saw. And Porsha was really bold because she kept her comments on for a long fucking time, and then she turned them off, and I now think she has them back on. But here's the thing, and I hope Porsha has thought this through.
It's just so disappointing.
I hope that here's the thing. I hope that this $40 million suffices for her. And, hopefully this does bring about a new season of Housewives of Atlanta for her. But what Porsha needs to realize is that she was on so many
spin-off show coming out too.
Right. She was on so many episodes. I mean, so many seasons of Housewives as one of the main housewives, because she was a fan favorite. Right. Porsha, you are likable. All right. And now from what I'm seeing, a lot of your fans who were, considering you their favorite, they're switching sides. They're seeing you in a different light. So what I hope is you don't ever have to come back to this reality TV world hoping for, everyone to love you again, because I feel like it's kind of mixed right now. And depending on how she rocks on next season, if she knows what's best, she needs to come on there a bit apologetic or something, because if she starts acting like how she is now on Instagram, she's going to get ate up, because I already see in her comments thousands and thousands of likes. Girl, this is fucked up. Who are you? Who raised you? Like, people are really flipping like, oh, I like you, Porsha, but this is beyond disgusting. Yeah, like, people like you.
They were like, I like you and I can't even defend you on this.
Exactly. So I'm like, I hope that you have an exit strategy and you weren't planning on coming back as the fan favorite next season, because I don't think that's going to happen. I think they may switch on you and you're going to be the villain. They need a new villain anyway. They don't have Phaedra. They don't have Nene. And if she keeps acting like this, oh, I don't care, I'll steal your man and I don't care type of energy, they may turn you into the next villain. Like, that's how I feel it's going to be. And if that's what she wants, that's cool. But she was around so long, in my opinion, because she was likable. And if you're taking that away, I just don't know if you're going to get that same airtime like you used to get.
And trust and believe, this whole Simon story is really we're not going to care anymore after we figure out what was really going on. Once we have a good indication of like, okay, we're going to be moving on to the next thing.
Oh God, hold on. My whole light went off. Y'all can still hear me though. Oh.
Yeah. No, but after a few episodes of like us being like, ooh, that was juicy. Ooh, okay. Like, kind of how they kept talking about fucking Bolo the whole season. Like, I was like, oh my God, we can lay off of Bolo should not be coming in on episode 1 and we're still talking about him episode 20.
The one situation.
Yeah. So we're not going to be like, I get it. This is a storyline. This is like something that we are interested in for a moment, but understand that it's just going to be for a moment.
It's too far away from the actual season happening. That's the thing. Like, y'all better escalate the season and have the season start next month or something. Exactly. Because we're not gonna care after,
exactly.
But we'll see. I don't. It's interesting. I hope they bring back somebody interesting. Like, I don't know, Nene, Phaedra, somebody shit, because it ain't really interesting to me. So
no, it was terrible. This season was not good at all to me.
Girl.
It wasn't good. It was like, what are we talking about? Cynthia really can go. I'm just running.
Cynthia has to go. I love her. She got to go.
Cynthia can go. Love Cynthia. Love her. I want her to get off of the show. Go be happy with Matt, Mike.
Drew is cringe-worthy. Drew makes me cringe.
Drew has to get off the show. This should have been her debut and then leave, because I didn't know, she really didn't have, she was trying to,
about that damn
that wig.
The wig. Like, you're broke ass. Like, you look so broke because everyone spent $1,000 and you did a fucking gag gift. Like, how dare you? I would have wanted to square up and fight her. Like, I would have wanted to fight her. I would have been
taking shit home, even though she really didn't. They took some of her bottles, but still, she wouldn't have been taking shit home. I'd be like, you know what? You just don't get to take
Chanel. I bought Chanel and Baccarat and all types of expensive shit. And you gonna bring an old? You couldn't even buy a new wig. You couldn't even buy a wig from the store.
Like, girl, those are bundles. Those bundles, bitch. Those are used bundles. Like,
she's like, profit lot. Everyone's like, what the?
And to me, that's a sanitary issue. Like, bitch, I don't want some shit that was on your follicles and on your head and all that kind of shit made custom for you. Like,
it's COVID.
It's COVID. We are in a full pandemic still, bitch. Okay.
And she pulled out an old ass tape recorder talking about profit lot. And like,
we were so confused. Everybody was kind of like, they were like, okay, girl, you really just need to let that go. He's allowed to have a crush on the girl, whether she's married or not. He's allowed. He has eyes. If she thought she was beautiful, okay, what else do you have? She's like, well, I have more, but I just can't play it. And
she tries so hard to be relevant. I cannot. Like they kept saying, what does profit lot have to do with you? She's talking about her baby blessing. Girl, if I hear anything about that baby blessing one more again, I swear.
Drew, here's what Drew needs to do. Drew needs to focus on her marriage, because we still know that there are some leaks and cracks in that, because there's no way that man just did a 180 and now he's just this changed man from how he was introduced to the season. I don't buy it.
Girl, he's so fake and phony.
That smile, that, you know, and even her, like it's all a front. And that's
they're all
really
so phony.
It's really weird.
It's like those weird church people who are so like evil, but you know, they act like they're just the saints until you get to their house and they lock you in a basement and talking about you killing your baby or some shit because you're pregnant and want to get an abortion. Who knows? I'm just saying they're crazy.
It's crazy.
Both of them are sick. It's something not right about. They give me the heebie-jeebies, both of them.
I really, honestly, I hate to say this, but I could do without Candy.
Oh yeah, Candy's time has come and gone, and she's elevated. You know, I feel like she's the boss.
She has.
She got no drama.
Her own show. She can. You know, if she really, she's one of those people that if she really,
I think she should do like Making the Band or something. You know, like be another Diddy show. Do like a Making the Band or something like that.
The new escape. You know, in its new era, because we're missing that. You know, but they're all trying
to get their jobs back, girl, because you saw this Porsha drama happen. Everybody posted. Todd posted something towards Porsha, and Marlo posted something. Kenya posted something. Nene's shade was the funniest because she said she was scrolling. She thought that was Porsha's mama's man. She didn't know. She said, I thought that was Miss Diane's man. That's why I was like, oh, okay. She said, I had no idea who that man was because I don't watch the show. And we're like, okay, Nene.
He could bring Nene back. They could bring Phaedra back.
Nene is hilarious no matter what.
No matter what. Even if they don't give her a peach and they just pull her in like a Marlo, I'm okay with that. I
would like to see somebody new like Tiffany Pollard.
Oh,
like I Love New York or something. Like I want somebody.
Her. I thought you the other girl to be the singer.
No, like people that are known, but like they're controversial, but they're gonna like I Love New York on the Housewives cast.
She would be.
It would be amazing.
She would be so great.
It'd be amazing, and it's like we need something. We need a spark. Y'all are dying.
She needs to be out on TV anyway.
Yes.
Anyway, I love her. Like I could watch her all day, every day. I saw your Bad Girls based on your post that you posted. That's coming back. So they're doing an 18 version. They're calling it Baddies ATL. So basically they're just bringing back a lot of the like old bad girls who have some drama and stuff like that. But it's on Zeus, and Zeus is winning. I watch Zeus a lot. Like they're they got me with the Chance show. I can't wait for his second season to come out. New York was on there. That was funny. Now I'm watching ghetto ass Jocelyn's Cabaret. They got me with that. Marlon's watching that. Oh my god,
that shit is so funny. I cannot. They got me with the double homicide. I had to tap in, see what they was talking about. It's ratchet, but it's hilarious. And Zeus is probably about to blow up. It's probably about to be the next like Mona Scott Love and Hip Hop type thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I saw Nene also met with the CEO of Zeus, and they were on Instagram Live together, and they said they had some things coming up. So she's still in her reality show bag. Who knows what she's gonna have popping off? So
wow, okay.
Yeah. TV's been good because I think Snowfall kept me entertained for several weeks. I'm so sad that it's off air, but it was a really good season. And The Shy is coming on in a few weeks. So that's interesting to see how they're gonna continue that.
I stopped watching like once I saw the mom have a strap on. I just couldn't do it. Now I don't mind going back in finishing it out because I don't know how it ended, but I mean I do like The Shy, but it just was a lot me seeing.
It was good once the sister got out of the basement because she was kidnapped for most of that.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it was weird when she was kidnapped, but once she got out, it kind of got back to the regular Shy. And I'm like, okay,
makes sense.
Better. Okay. But the whole focus on her being kidnapped was pretty strange. But after that, it was good.
Okay.
What else am I watching? Handmaid's Tales. That's back, and that's really good.
I still need to watch that. I watched like a few episodes, and everybody's like, "You have to watch Handmaid's Tales. You have to," and I'm just like, is it really that good? But everybody's saying it's so good.
This season may be the best season. I'm like, oh my God. Because they've been gone for 2 years because of COVID. So people are just like, are they coming back? Like, what's going on? It was a huge cliffhanger.
How many seasons is it? 2? 3?
This is the 4th season that's out right now.
Oh, shit. So
and they're like on episode 4 or 5. And it's so good. It's like, damn, y'all took a break and y'all came back with that heat because it's really good. And it's reminding me of what we're going through now because it's about like, you know, crazy society switching up on you and making new regulations. And now women can't have bank accounts and women can't do this. So it's like an alternate reality where, you know, the government is pretty fucked up.
Right.
But it's good. It's entertaining.
I got to get into some shows. I've been slacking. I mean, I've been watching more YouTube clips of stuff. Everything's been bite-sized on YouTube. But I need to get back into some shows. I really do. Because
I've been disconnecting from reality. It's great.
Yeah. It's good. Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah. Wow, this has felt really good. Is there any other topics we need to discuss that's on the top of the list? I'm trying to think.
We got most of the main things out the way. I do want to address something real quick. Yeah. This happened about a month ago, and I was hoping, I actually wanted to get online when it happened, but I posted a picture of the Kardashians.
On our page.
On our page. All right. It got almost 1,000 likes. Okay. But it also got almost 500 comments. And half of them, majority of them, were comments saying that people were going to unfollow Melanin and Me podcast because we posted the Kardashians. It was some sort of betrayal to the melanated people out there. And unless the Kardashians was in a picture with their Black children, they should not be posted.
My thing is, we've posted the Kardashians before. We've posted Khloe, we've posted Kim, we've
posted them several times with their Black kids and without.
They're a part of the melanin culture. I mean, they're not melanin, but they are definitely a part of the culture. For obvious
my thing is, where is this outcast or whatever, this fallout? Where's all this aggression when I post Joe Biden? Y'all don't give a fuck then?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all are so bothered by these people, you know, and Joe Biden, okay, yes, he's the president. Yes, he's a Democrat, but he sent a lot of Black people to prison. A lot. Under the fucking, what's his name? Clinton administration, bitch. Okay. He did a lot of wrong towards Black people. We've forgiven him for that. We've moved past it. But what I'm saying is the aggression y'all have towards the Kardashians, and you know me, I'm not no huge Kardashian fan.
You're not.
But I don't even follow them on my personal accounts. Okay.
You like Scott more than anything, to be honest.
I love Scott. I love Courtney and Scott have always been my favorite.
Yeah.
But with that aside, my thing is, even with me not being the hugest Kardashian fan, I have never felt a hate for them or a dislike to the point where I'm gonna stop supporting Black people if Black people like the Kardashians. Like, I just feel like that's ridiculous. I don't know. And I just think that, don't get it twisted, just because we celebrate Black people and our focus is on Black people, don't think that we're bashing other races, because that doesn't do anything to help Black people to bash another race. So you got to check yourself if you're that bothered by another race being posted on a Black page. And these people clearly like Black culture. Like, they're obsessed over Black culture. Everyone knows that. So I don't know. It took me for a surprise. I just was like, damn. But it's interesting because it got so many likes, and then here I post a picture of Lizzo. Y'all don't even comment or like it. So are you really supporting Black people? Let me know. I'm just saying.
We are just a confused culture.
I post a picture of fucking Ryan Destiny. Y'all don't even like the fucking picture. And she's a beautiful Black woman. You know what I'm saying? Gorgeous. So pick and choose. I just don't understand.
So freaking beautiful. She's like gorgeous. Breathtakingly beautiful.
She is A1. She's more beautiful than, like, I mean, I don't like to judge women and put them in categories, but I know Lori Harvey's like the it girl. But to me, Ryan Destiny should be the it girl. Like, she is fucking gorgeous. And her boyfriend is gorgeous. And they're just gorgeous together.
Powers, yeah. They're gonna have some really pretty babies.
But yeah, I had to get that out.
I think that we should teabag those people.
Yes, all y'all are teabagged.
All y'all are teabagged for this episode because that is some crazy shit. I saw it when it was posted. I was like, why are people going in on? I was like, okay, so they are just really upset. I'm like, and we posted the Kardashians without any kids, without Kanye being in the picture, without Tristan being in the picture, without Travis Scott being in the picture, and we didn't get this much of an uproar, if any.
Girl, they'd be so mad. I don't understand. And can we normalize just unfollowing and not announcing that you're gonna unfollow? Like, like, I'm just like, I mean, unfollow, bitch. Like, the announcement and everything is just too much for me.
I just think we have to normalize unfollowing people that you don't like in general. Like, why is it that you feel the need to keep up with people that you do not like? It is the most bizarre thing. Like,
and stop everybody's announcing everything. Is driving me crazy. Like, I'm so tired of these announcements. Like, I'm gonna take a break from social media. Okay, take a break. Like, why are you here?
Why are you announcing it? Exactly.
It's the attention seeking for me. It's gone to a level that I can't even. I'm barely on social media now. If it's not our melanin page, I don't even be posting on my personal. I'm just like,
yeah. And I literally post on mine for business purposes because just to keep the engagement up. But yeah, I'm rarely even in my phone like that, just because it's nothing new. Everything is overload. The same thing.
It's overload.
There's no new content. There's no new like way of I'm almost ready for what's the new Instagram.
Oh, Instagram has its day coming.
Like, what is going to be the
especially
new
they keep making these changes. Girl, I don't know.
Yeah, like
virtual reality.
What's going to be the new whatever?
Virtual reality? Us strapping on this headset, be like, girl, you going to the virtual reality room? Yeah, girl, meet me at floor 889. Okay, I see you in 10 minutes. Log on. Hey, girl.
That's some Black Mirror shit.
That's what it's come down to, girl. We're already at this place where we're like being rated and separated by vaccinations and all types of shit. All that shit you saw in the movies is about to come true. So
this is scary. This is some scary shit. And when you really think about it, I'm ready. I'm
ready for whatever. God guides my life. I make moves that make no sense. because I just be ready to be led, whatever happens,
and that's
happens.
the way that you have to be. You have to just be, whatever feels good to you, it'll flow through you and you'll know what that looks like for yourself, And
I feel like this year it's not, I feel like it's getting better than the last 2020. Sure. I feel the energy shifting, you know what I'm saying? It's not as heavy this year. Doesn't feel as heavy to me. Yeah. So we got some good things coming up, y'all, for the channel, the podcast, the Instagram. We're going to get into more interviewing some of your favorite celebs and entertainers. So if you have a request, shoot us an email, shoot us a DM at Melanin Podcast. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Like I said earlier, I'm really excited about being back. This feels good. We haven't done it in so long because of life, but like you'll be seeing a lot more of us for sure.
Yep.
It's been real. Thanks, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all the things.
Yes, check us out on Instagram.
50,000 followers. So get ready. Wow. We're going to try to work up some stuff to celebrate that. So stay tuned. Don't want to miss it. We're known for giveaways. Listen, we're known for giveaways. We're known for, for all the things. So you don't know what we have up our sleeve.
I want to go live too. Like we need to go live on YouTube.
We can go live in Miami.
Go live on Instagram.
We can go live in Miami in our bikinis.
Oh my God. It's gonna be lit. This summer is gonna be epic. I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
Me too. So I'm excited. All right. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.